Good morning, class. In our previous classes, that was before puja, we are doing the chapter chemical bonding and molecular structure. Now our today's topic is sigma and pi bond. These two bonds are very important, and it is a very important term that we need to understand. In our previous classes, we have learned about electrovalent bond, covalent bond, their formation, examples, characteristics. After that, we discuss about their differences. Then we learn to write how to write down the electron dot structures, Lewis dot structures. We have also seen the compounds which does not obey the octet rule, like that. Now today we are going to see the sigma and pi bond. Okay. Now let us see. So sigma and pi bond. So as we know, when a covalent bond is formed, it is formed by the sharing of electrons. Okay, sharing of electrons. That means one atom will share its electron with the other atom. Actually, what will happen in this? There is a overlapping of half-filled orbitals. That means if the orbital has got one electron, when they overlap, it will form two electrons that will give rise to a bond which is called a covalent bond. So a covalent bond is formed by the overlapping of half-filled orbitals of atoms participating in bonding. Strength of bonds depend upon the extent of overlap. Larger the overlap, stronger the bond will be. The extent of overlap depends upon the nature of orbitals. Number two, the way in which these orbitals overlap. So let us discuss about sigma bond first. Sigma bond, the symbol is this one, sigma. This type of bond is formed by the head-on overlapping of half-filled atomic orbitals along the internuclear axis. So when there is a hidden overlap of half-filled atomic orbitals, it gives rise to a sigma bond. Half-filled atomic orbitals along the internuclear axis, that is the line passing through the center of the nuclei of the atoms. This type of overlap is also called axial overlap since it is along the axis. Formation of sigma bond involves one of the following types of overlap. Now this sigma bond formation can take place in three ways. Okay, let us see what are the three types of overlapping. You can have either SS overlapping, that is s orbital and s orbital overlapping, or you can have s and p orbital overlapping, or you can also have pp overlapping. Now let us see how the overlapping of these three types takes place. So first we'll discuss about SS overlapping. So in SS overlapping, what will happen? S orbitals will overlap each other. So when they overlap, this will over here the pairing of electron takes place, and this give rise to a sigma bond. So when a partially filled s orbital of one atom overlap with the partially filled s orbital of another atom, then the overlapping and the bond formed is called SS bond. Why it is SS bond? Because this is also s orbital and this is also s orbital. Okay, and such kind of examples you can find in a hydrogen molecule, in H2 molecule, where you'll have got a SS overlapping. The second type of overlapping is SP overlapping. In the SP overlapping, one will be s orbital and other will be a p orbital. As we know, p orbital is dumbbell shape and s orbital is spherical. So when they overlap, this bond that is formed is sp sigma bond, we can say. Okay, an example of such is hydrogen fluoride, HF. Similarly, the last type of overlapping is pp overlapping. In pp overlapping, we have got the two p orbitals which will overlap with each other to give rise to a pp overlapping. So when two partially filled p orbitals overlap, the overlapping is known as pp overlapping. And you can find such in case of fluorine molecule. You can find pp sigma bond in fluorine molecule. Characteristics of a sigma bond. What are the characteristics of a sigma bond? One thing is that it is a strong bond due to maximum overlapping of atomic orbitals. So sigma bond is stronger because in this the overlapping that takes place will be maximum, and if the overlapping is maximum the bond will be stronger. Number two, it is symmetrical along the internuclear axis. So it is symmetrical. That means it is symmetry in nature. And free rotation of free rotation of molecule about sigma bond is possible. So we can rotate the molecule along the sigma bond. So that are the characteristics of sigma bond. Next we discuss about the pi bond, the second type of bond, pi bond. Pi bond, just to remember you what is sigma and pi bond. Say for example, if you have seen the electron dot structure of oxygen, in that we have got a double bond between the oxygen, if you remember, double covalent bond. In that double bond, one is a sigma bond and other is a pi bond. So whenever we have got a two bonds between the atoms, one will be sigma and other will be pi. And if you have got three bonds, then one will be sigma and other two will be pi. We come across later on. So pi bond, this type of bond is formed by the sidewise overlapping of half-filled atomic orbitals in a direction perpendicular to the internuclear axis. So pi bond formation takes place by the sidewise overlapping. This will not be a hidden overlapping or axial overlapping. So the overlapping will take place only sidewise in a direction perpendicular to the internuclear axis. It is a weak bond as the extent of overlapping of atomic orbitals is very small. It is a very weak bond compared to sigma bond, since the overlapping is sidewise and the extent of overlapping is not maximum. Say for example, this is, we can say, pz orbital, okay, which is perpendicular to the x-axis. So what will happen when these two orbital we have the sidewise overlapping, this one, it will give rise to this type of bond, which is also called as a banana shaped bond. Okay, so this is the formation of pi orbital, or we can call pi bond. Assignment. So based on today's class, we have got the assignment 10. Question number 1, define sigma bond, how it is formed. Question number 2, explain the different types of overlapping for the formation of sigma bond. That means you need to explain that SS overlapping, SP overlapping and PP overlapping. Question number 3, define pi bond and how it is formed. And question number 4, we have got define sigma and pi bond, which bond is stronger and why. So between sigma and pi bond, which bond is stronger and what is the reason for it. And question number 5, we have got differentiate between sigma and pi bond. So complete the assignment and send it in my mail.